guys, how are y'all of you? All right, we are getting ready to start day 7. So the third week, so we are on the third week of our 12 days of Christmas, and day 7. So we are going to go ahead and get started. We're just cutting to the chase. All right, so let me move that out of the way. The set we are going to be using is this Ness of Winter, and I absolutely love it. So the paper's beautiful. The whole collection is super nice. So it looks, you could use it for Christmas, but you could use it for any fall, winter, any time of year. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. So that's what we're going to use. There's lots of great samples in the catalog, as well as then ones that we're gonna make today. So for those of you who are just joining, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. We start out with a one of the sketches from the annual catalog, and then we will do a kind of a fun fold and or a 3D project, and then we'll reverse it. So, but we're going to start out with the template or card sketch first. So the one we're doing today, which I did not mark it, but I will, is this one right here, number 7. That one right there. So, by the way, I'm kind of skipping them just randomly, but that's the one we're going to do today. So it looks pretty simple, but I think we're going to do a few things to make it look a little bit nicer. And remember, be sure to sign up if you haven't for the mailing list. And at the end of each 3 days, and it's appearing on Tuesday is when I seem to be getting around to it. But we will, I will send you the recipes. So basically I just send you the measurements with a picture of the card, because you can always come to the video to watch how to put it together. So that's kind of how we're doing it. It's free for this series. So I hope you guys will join. Join the mailing list. I also send out weekly reminders and classes and all kinds of fun stuff. So these are the stamps that you get. And then these are the dies. So you have a couple dies here, which you're going to see. There's this one and this one here that actually cut out birds from the designer series paper. So that's where we're starting tonight, because I didn't want to pull out all the Stampin' blends, but that's what we're going to use as well to color in those birds. And then this is just a big, huge die, which I will show you some cards made with that, and we'll use it, I'm sure, for one of our cards or a template. So just lots of fun dies that are very versatile. So I think you're gonna, if you get this set, I think you're really gonna like it. I am having Stampin' Bingo in November, and I actually have another one of these sets that is going to be one of the prizes. So that's going to be kind of fun. All right, so let's get back to our card now that I think we have all that put away. So this is a piece of 4 1/4 by 11, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is just a piece of the designer series paper, which you will get to see lots of that. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card. And then I'm going to show you hopefully a couple little tricks tonight that you maybe have seen before, maybe not. So be sure to say hello when you hop on. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube or on my Facebook page, be sure to say hi there. And maybe what is your favorite project in each one of these videos? Do you like the fun fold? Do you like the easy, using the templates? Make sure I get that on straight. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, if you remember, the template is just kind of a piece of paper there, a piece of, your cardstock or designer series paper, and then it just has a cutout at the bottom. So we're going to take this sheet, which is 2 1/4 by 4 inches. And the first thing I'm going to do is run it through the embossing folder. So one of the embossing folders that comes with this collection is this one that looks like wood. Super nice. I've used it several times. And I'm just going to lay it in here straight. Not that it probably matters a whole lot. And we're going to run this through the embossing machine. So I'm going to grab that. These folders are huge. These folders are huge now. So you kind of have to use the big cut and emboss machine. But it's really hard. I'm going to bring it in here, but you're not really going to see much, I guess. So I will put in plate number 1, then the embossing folder, and then it takes plate number 4. So we'll just pop this in here. Of course, I put it backwards, but that's okay. All right, sorry for the shaking. I try to do all of this ahead of time, but for this particular piece, I just wanted to show you because we're also going to do something a little different with it. Nothing crazy, just a little different. Oh, that's funny. I had like little, I think I just ran my other pieces of paper through. That's all right. Okay, so we're just going to set this off to the side. So now we have this piece of cherry cobbler. And now what we're going to do is we are going to take this hexagon punch here, or that's not a hexagon. I don't remember what they call it. I'll have to find that out. I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to put it in my punch here at the end. Can you guys see that? Because if you remember, we could we were going to flag it at the end. So instead of flagging it, we are going to use our nice little, oops, hello. And I must have this just a tad over. So I'm just going to cut that right off. I'm going to go to this side and cut that right off. I must have that slightly too big. All right. But there you go, because that is exactly 2 1/4 inches. But isn't that cool? It's like I already have it flagged there. So now I'm going to add this to my my card. Or well, not yet, actually. I also took a piece of small silver foil paper, and this is 2 1/4 by 1/2 inch. And I am just going to adhere it to the top here of this piece of cardstock. So we're not doing a whole lot more. We're just adding a little bit of color and to this nice little flag. And then I did put a background image on. But you literally could put this right in the center of your card and stamp a greeting on it and get something beautiful. Okay. So there we go. So now I'm just going to take a piece of basic white that I have here that I accidentally ran through the die cutting machine. Let me just make sure I have this going the right direction. I do. So this is also 2 1/4 inches. And it is, I think 2 1/4 by 2. So we're going to take this greeting here, sending thanks and much love. And we are going to stamp an early espresso toward the top of this piece. Okay. So we're just going to ink that right up. And then we are going to stamp it across the top. And hopefully I have that centered. That is a little on the crooked side, isn't it? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me just make sure. Actually, I think it's okay. Yep, I think that's okay. All right, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and close this up. Now, we are going to adhere it to our piece of red, but you can see we have a lot more white there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to tear it. Now I just have to remember. Yep. So I'm just going to go along the edge here and I am just going to tear it. I had to remember which way I wanted it torn. There we go. And then I'm just going to add that right there to the top of my card, of my little flag there. And we're just going to add that to our flagged piece of cardstock. And then we're going to take some of the twine, because in our sketch, it had some twine going around. So we've used this before. This is the one with all 3 colors. So I'm going to take some of the green here and I am just going to wrap it around and tie I'm going to wrap it around a couple times just to get some, there we go. And then I'm just going to tie a small bow. So let's see if I can just leave that there and wrap this around. Guys, fussy cutting and tying bows are not my specialty. All right, let's see how we do. Okay, that was not bad. That was pretty quick. Okay, and there we go. And now we can go ahead and take this piece and we are going to adhere it to our card right there. Let me just make sure that's nice and tight. And I think we're going to put this up on dimensionals just because. So a super easy, you could run a large sheet of cherry cobbler through your cut and emboss machine and then cut it in strips and flag them. And I would just say, just because of what we just saw there, I would just make sure that maybe they're just a little under 2 1/4 maybe, just so you don't have to go and try to fix each one of those. There we go. And that is our card. Now I probably would add maybe a couple little embellishments on this one. Let's do that while we're right here. And I had them. They also come with this set. Here we go. Let's see, it's not those. I have 2. Oh, there they are, a little faceted. You know what, we'll use these instead. These are the adhesive back speckled dots. And I think those tan ones will look super nice on this card. So let's just add a couple of those. We'll add a few small ones down here, maybe. There we go. We'll put one right there. There we go. All right, and there is our first card template. I hope you guys like that. That is super easy, and yet we did just a couple little things to make it maybe stand out a little bit more than what was in the catalog. All right, card number 2. I was actually in the process of just making sure I had everything for this one, and I think I need one more piece, but we'll cut that as we go. So this is our fun fold. This is an envelope fold card. So what you're going to start out with is a piece that's 5.5 by 11. Okay, so 5.5 by 11, and then it is scored at 4 inches and 8 inches. So actually it's this way, 4 inches and 8 inches. All right, and this is going to be like an envelope fold. So super fun. And And then you're going to need 3 pieces of designer series paper. So whatever paper you want to take from, you know, any pack. And these are 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then what we're going to do before we adhere our paper, the other piece we're going to need is a piece that is about 3 inches, or I'm sorry, 3 1/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And that's going to be kind of our middle piece that we're going to have. All right, so the first thing we need to do is just a little measuring. Because this is an envelope card, we're going to have it fold like this, but we want this part to look like an envelope. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to take this envelope side, and we are going to just put a dot where it's 2 3/4. Okay, we're just going to put a dot where it's 2 3/4 because that's going to be kind of our center point. Find my pencil here. So this is 2 3/4 right here. Then I'm going to go down the side and I am going to find where it is 1 1/2. Okay, so there's 1 1/2 right here. And then I'm going to go to the other side and find 1 1/2, and we're going to put it there. And now we're just going to trim this right up. So we're just going to line up those 2 dots, trim them off, and it's going to look like an envelope. So I'm going to put 2 dots right, there's a dot and there's a dot. I'm just going to line them up in the track. And then I'm going to just pop that right down and do the same thing here. Put the dot in the track. I still see the other dot. Oops, dot, dot. Line it up, run it through. And now, that quickly, we have a super cool envelope looking card, just like that. Now what we're going to do is inside, well, first we'll do this outside layer. So I'm going to take those 3 pieces of designer series paper, and on the outside here, I'm going to put this one that's the pattern side. So I'm going to adhere this to the outside layer. You know what would be funny is as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, if you guys ever can't see anything or something doesn't look right, you need to let me know. And I think, if I'm not paying attention, how would I know if you guys were saying anything? Like, don't do that. That's not right. I wouldn't. But you know what would be a cool feature is if you wanted to turn on where someone could hit it, like if you were doing the wrong thing, like a panic button. That'd be kind of cool. All right, I'm going to take one of these bird images here, and I'm going to put it down on this panel. Okay, so this one's not going to have anything on it, so I'm going to put the pretty birds there. And then we're going to put that in here on this one. Oops, let me just get that so it's nice and centered. There we go. You guys have a couple seconds with that Tombow glue before things really set. And then this piece, I'm going to turn it the opposite way, and it's going to go up here. And then we're going to put a piece of, unless, because we're putting a piece of white over it, actually, maybe we'll do both sides in the pretty birds. I think I like that better. I think I like that better, yeah. That's what we'll do. We'll leave the, like the snowflakes, kind of, is what it looks like. Snow is falling. No snow yet, but, and you guys, have any of you guys gotten snow yet? There was some place I thought I heard that got snow. I was like, oh boy, I can't imagine. Okay, now we're going to bring in our paper trimmer again, because I do need a piece to go right here in the middle. So that was the piece I told you that we still needed that I had not cut yet. So it is going to be 4 3/4. That's what I said, 4 3/4. Yep, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. So we're gonna just cut that right like this. Yeah, 4 3/4, actually by 3 1/4. 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. All right, and that is going to be our layer where we can actually put our greeting right here in the center. So we're going to go ahead and stamp a greeting. And you know what? I have this sending thanks. So we're just going to use this same. Let me see. What else do we have? Oh, we'll use this one instead. A friend like you brings me happiness. That's kind of nice. All right. So we will take this one and we're just going to put that right kind of toward the top a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to line it up here actually on my grid, and then we will bring back out our early espresso, and then we're just going to pop that right on here. Make sure we get it nice and inked up. All right. There we go. Oh, nice. You guys, I'm so thankful that these are going straight because it's really hard to see, and I'm not the best sometimes at lining things up, for sure. Okay, so there we go. We'll clean that right off. I'm sure you all know this, but just reminder, you know, you don't want to keep these on a block long because those cling can really make it stick. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this right here. And then you can write a note. Now you can put it down here too. We're not really going to have anything down here, so it doesn't really matter whatever side you want to put it on. But we're just going to go ahead and adhere this. And like I said, we'll do it up here. All right. Get that nice and lined up. Yep. Okay, so now what we have left is right here, kind of our focal point of our nice card. So I cut out, let me find those little guys. I cut out a couple birds from the designer series paper. So let me get those out here. Or find, oh, there they are. Ta-da! But we are going to need a circle is what I was going to make. And I am looking around. Sorry, guys. We're going to put that right there in the center. And you know what? I have white. That's what I have with me. So, you know, I take that back. We have some designer paper over here. So I'm going to use some of these pretty, what are these called? Spotlight of Nature dies. I just love these. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I think we're just going to take one of these and run it through. We're going to run this through with white. And I think that will be, let me see. Sorry, now I feel very indecisive here. Okay, really quick. Let's take a look. Let's see what we can find that's not so bland, but gives us some good, you know, like a good background. And you know what? I think this one just might do it. I like that. All right, so we're going to take this die and we're going to run it through on this piece of designer series paper. That's going to be pretty, and then we can put some ribbon and stuff around it. So let's just cut off a piece of this paper here, and we will use this for our die. Uh-oh. I just whacked the camera, you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's get out our cut and emboss machine again, and we'll make our sandwich. And I won't even bother showing you guys this, just because it's pretty boring, right? Ooh, sorry about that. That's loud. All right, so we're gonna put our circle in here, and we're just gonna run this right through our machine, and then that's gonna give us a nice circle. So, grab this out of here. All right. This pops out very easily, but it's so intricate. If you guys can see those lines. Oop, there we go. So, all right, here we go. Let's set that off to the side. And now we're going to take our birds, and we are going to add those right here to the center. So we're just going to glue them on. And then we will take some, while we adhere this down. So I'm just going to put some adhesive right here in the center. And then we're going to put our pretty birds right there. And then we'll just move this right back over. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a fan of this, you guys. Didn't think that went through. But it's pretty. Okay, there we go. It's all good. All right. There we go. All right. Oh, let me get this off. This is just a little too long. There we go. All right. There you have it. There is our envelope card. I like it. I really do. I love it. I think it's pretty. And I don't think it's too bad that it's, that the ribbon's going through it. But if you guys come up with another way, you'll have to be sure to share it with me online. I would love to see it. So that is our second card. And so this is, we have our fun fold, and we have our sketch card. So I'm going to move those off to the side, and now we're going to do our last project, and I'm going to bring in all the pieces for that. So let me, I don't know what I did with that other card already. Just looking. All right. Well, that's all right. We'll moving along. Here we go. All right. So this card, or this project takes a lot of pieces, but I think you're going to like it. So I'm hoping I can do it justice in showing it to you. So I saw this project on someone else's site, but they didn't have the measurements, and they put on there that they didn't have the measurements. So I tweaked it a little bit, and I really like how it came out. Now, you guys, if you want to make it, you're definitely going to want to get sign up so that you can get the measurements. I'll tell you the pieces that we miss. All right. So first, let's go ahead and adhere our cardstock to, or our designer series paper to our cardstock, because that is just a matter of, like, literally, that's just a matter of us gluing. And that way we'll know too what we're missing, and then we'll formulate our box. But this would be an awesome gift if you guys, like, if I take, you know, all those little sketch cards that we've made, if you wanted to make all of those and put them in a nice box and give to someone as a gift, this could be the box that you put it in. Now, it does take two three pieces of cardstock. All right, so it's a little bit of a hog when it comes to like pieces of cardstock that you have to use. But I think it's just a nice, I think it makes for a nice gift. And you think about if you have, you would need 2 different color packs. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could not do the layering and you would be totally fine. You would be totally fine to make a beautiful box on all of that. So don't, you know, again, don't feel like, oh yeah, I can't make it if I don't have the, oops, see here. Yeah, that's what okay, I'm going to just measure this real quickly. Okay, yep, 5/7. And then this is, that's a little bit, okay, sorry, I'm going to see if I have this right somewhere else, but I don't think so. All right, so it looks like I'm missing a few pieces, but we'll get those figured out. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and do this piece on here. I started cutting this and then I went back and did it some more instead of like kind of doing it all in one sitting. So you know how that goes, you guys, at least with me. I'm like, what? Needless to say, I think I forgot. All right. So I am definitely going to have to, and I have all the measurements written down. So it's, I just have to kind of go back through and give it a little, make sure I have the pieces correct. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these 2 because I know those sizes, and then I will, then we'll adhere everything we have, and then I might have to cut a few more. So let me just pull out that paper, and we're going to need 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 4 4¼ So let's just pull this over here, and let's do a couple pieces that are 1 inch. And I'm going to make sure I know where that's going to go. So actually I'm going to pull over here to 4¼ And I'll tell you why, because I need them to actually go sideways, which is probably why I didn't do those right away. All right, there we go. So we'll at least glue those on, and then we'll come back to the others if needed. Okay. All right. I think we got that correct. Yes, we do. And then we're going to make our nice box here. Okay. Let's see here. So there we go. Okay, and then we'll do this one here. And then we'll just take all these pieces and set them off to the side while we make our box with our nice little folding mechanism. Okay. And you guys, I have to put ribbon on. So I have to remember that or I'll forget. I have the ribbon right here, so I better get it out from under the stack. Isn't this pretty? It's like got gold in it. I'm kind of excited to use it. Okay. All right, so here are 2 pieces. So now we're going to do some scoring on these 2 pieces. So again, they've already been cut. So we're going to take the piece. We'll start with this one because this is pretty straightforward. So this is a piece that is 6 by 10.5. And we are going to score it at 4 5/8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. So 4 5/8 by 5 7/8. And that's all we need to do with this piece. And you guys can see how it's going to make like a little booklet there. Okay, now we're going to take this piece here and make sure that we're on the 9-inch side. And we are going to score it at 1 1/4, 5 3/4, and 7. Okay. Then we're going to turn it on the short side, the 8 1/4 side, and we are going to score it at 1 1/4 and 7. You guys, I'm looking at him like, oh my word, what did I mess up? Okay, so let's go ahead and burnish all of our lines. And then we're just going to have to cut off just a few of the area, a few of the sections. And then we're just going to do some gluing. And actually, I don't even think we really have to cut anything. I think we just have to do just a little bit of, maybe a little bit of trimming. Okay, so this is our box. So we're going to take our scissors here and we are going to cut on the end, and we're just going to notch this over on each of these sides. So just take each one of these and we're going to notch them over. I just want to make sure I get that right. Yep. So we're just going to do the same thing here. Go up and create a notch. And I'm going to do that exact same thing on the other side. Take it. And the notching, again, as we have said many times, right, that it's just to remove a little bit of the bulk. And you guys, I will tell you this too. I used to always get confused on like where to notch out. Do I notch out on the paper? Do I notch out on the tab? And for the most part, it's always on the tab, this part here. Okay, let's clean all that up. Okay, now we're ready to adhere this part of our box. So you have two pieces over here, and then you have this one here. So we'll start on this side. These two tabs, we're going to put glue on the inside, and then we're just going to put it right up. Just make sure those corners are lined up. Okay, so we're just going to put some adhesive in here, and we'll do the same over here. Now, you might want to use, if you have, you know, Stampin' Seal Plus, which I guess I have that too. But I do think the Tombow actually holds the best. But so does Tear and Tape. And I do have to say, as I got some other Tear and Tape with some boards that I bought. And I will say, Stampin' Up's Tear and Tape is a lot better. It really is. I was very surprised, actually. Okay. So then we're going to take these little guys and we are going to glue them in here. This piece is going to stay out. Okay, so now we're going to take these two and do the exact same thing. We're going to put some adhesive on them. Make sure you get it all the way around the edge, but not too close to the edge so that the glue spurts out. And we're just gonna tuck those right down. Oops, I think I'm a little off camera there. Oops, let me get that. And again, we're just gonna make sure those sides line up exactly on the edges. And the only reason why is because you want your box to be nice and straight there. And I'm just gonna press down on those. Perfect. All right. Now I'm gonna take, and then this right here folds in like that. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go ahead and take this strip that I did not cut correctly, I don't think. Yeah, this piece is too big, but this piece is just right, I believe. It's too long. Okay, so that's perfect. So let me go ahead and actually trim this up, you guys, because this is the piece that I messed up on. Yeah, it's this piece here. So let's fix that, because this is 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to go to this piece here. And it should be just, oh, it is 1 7/8 by, sorry. Oh, yeah, it should be, yeah, I think it should be 5 and, just double check here, it should be 5 3/8. 5 3/8. There we go. All right. So we got that squared away. Okay, we'll put that piece off to the side. Okay, so here we go. We're going to adhere this piece. That again is, yeah, this is 5 5/8. So the piece of cardstock is 5 5/8. And then the piece of designer series paper that went on it is 5 1/2 by 1 3/4. So I just totally messed up. Okay, so here's our box again. So now we're just going to take this piece and we are going to put it right here on this flap. Okay. All right. And again, I'm putting this on because I want to make sure that the lid, I want to show you how the lid is going to stay down. So I'm just lining it up here and making sure that it's nice and even. There we go. It's a slight little border right there. Make sure, yep. So now these little guys are going to go inside and this flap is going to go down just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wrapper here. And what's going to happen, and I'll go ahead and burnish these score lines. Okay. And then you guys can see how we're kind of going to put it together. So what's going to happen is this box is going to fit right in here. And this is going to go right over like that to form a nice little book. And then we're going to have this inside and then we can pull that out. All right. So before we do that, let's go ahead. And if you remember, we needed ribbon. So I'm going to take some of this beautiful ribbon here and I'm just going to take it around. And I just want to make sure that if let me take the inside here, just so we have a little bit of stability. And then we're going to wrap our ribbon around and just make sure that it's long enough and we can tie a very pretty bow. Okay. Let's see. There we go. And make sure it's nice and long. Okay. So that's pretty long. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take the top part here, and while we have our ribbon, we are going to put this card, which is part of our, like our decoration here, and we're going to put that right here on top. So we're going to go ahead and turn this over, and we're going to adhere all of our adhesive, and this will help keep our ribbon right in place. So we'll make sure we put some adhesive there. Okay. And then we're going to turn this over, and I'm just going to like kind of pull the ribbon a little bit just so that it's nice and flat. And then I'm going to put this right on top of our box. And again, I'm going to put this up here just so I can make sure that I have an even border all the way around, which I think I do. Now, you guys could also tie the bow, undo the bow, which I'm going to get ahead and take it off this spool. You know, and then go ahead and adhere the ribbon right to the box. So I might be doing this like totally backwards a little bit. Okay, now we have one of these pieces, and we are going to put it right here on the spine of our box. So again, same thing. We're going to go ahead and use lots of adhesive here. Make sure we get it on the edge. And then when we pick our box up, we're just going to kind of pull that ribbon just a little bit, just so it's nice and flat right here on the spine. And we're going to lay this right down on our box here. And again, you guys can see this is it's not hard to put together. It's just a lot of pieces. But if you get them all cut, unlike me, cut them all, it'll be, you know, it'll be super easy because literally it's just gluing. And again, I think it's going to make just a beautiful box, gift box. All right. Go. And last. And if you're using a pattern, just make sure you have everybody going the same direction there. And then we're going to put this one on the back. And this is another thing, if you were running low on paper or something, you know, you don't necessarily have to do the back side. I don't know if the person that I, you know, found this from, I didn't see the back of her box. I don't know if she did the back. But like I said, I wanted that to be really stable until it was nice and thick. Okay. Now we have this other piece that is also an inch. So now that everything is connected, I'm going to go ahead and undo the ribbon here. And now I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going, oh, you know what? I did not do that correctly. It's the right size. Can you guys, but I mean, it's too big. I failed to cut these at 1 and, I failed to cut these at 1 or 5 3/8. I think is what they needed to be. Just double check here. Yep, nope, 5 5/8. Okay. All right, let's see if I have it right now. Yep, I do. It's right here. Okay, so you guys, I have the right measurements. Oh, I'm sorry. But I messed up on them. I messed up on it. So on giving them, doing them myself, but they're written down correctly. So, you know, go figure. All right. So now we're going to take this piece out and we're going to adhere this right on the side. There we go. Then, very nice. Okay, now we have two more. These two pieces that were 1 inch that we're putting right here on both the bottom and the top. So that's the next thing that we have to adhere. And then we just have to adhere the box to our kind of our cover, and then we just are going to put a couple items on the front to decorate, and that is it. So let's turn this over, do one more up here. So again, you guys can choose. So we're going to be looking at it this way. I think too, if you did this with paper that maybe was not directional, it would also be easy. But just think about that before you start cutting your designer series paper. When you're doing the measurements, I had to stop a couple times and just think, okay, is this going to go horizontal or vertical? And that helped me as I was doing that. Now, when we put our box in, we want it to go right up against the side here. So first I'm going to go ahead and adhere the bottom, and I'm going to turn it this way because I want it to be even like this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just put adhesive all along the back. Get it so it's nice and can be nice and firm on there. Okay, so I'm going to line it up so it's right on that score line. And then I want to make sure I have the same size border at the bottom as I do at the top, as much as I possibly can. So as I move this in, just make sure that it's nice and flat on both sides. And now just take my bone folder here and just kind of, where I can even use my fingers there. Just make sure too that as you do that, you're not sliding your box around. Then we actually adhere this to the side. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive all along this edge here. And it's amazing that something just like, you know, adhering the lid to the side of the box is going to make it look just a little bit nicer, a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say professional, but it just makes it look that much, I don't know, that much more like a little booklet. Okay, so here I'm going to set this down as well, and I'm just going to run, you probably can't see, there we go. I'm just going to run this along all the edges here and get it in there nice and good. And there, you guys, is our box. So this folds down. So if we take our card that we just made, you can see it's going to slide right in there. I'm looking for our other card that we made. I am, oh, here we go. You know, but you can, and it fits envelopes too. So you can put your cards with your envelopes, and then it's going to close. And look at that. We have this nice little box. Okay, now I have a couple things just to decorate the outside. Nothing fantastic, really. I'm just going to put this black circle on here with this little bird. And I'm thinking I want to do something a little bit nicer because that just seems pretty plain. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I had some other like circles and stuff. So maybe I'll run this one through one more time. And then, you know what, we'll do another one as well. And just to get a couple different shapes. And then we'll be done. All right. So let me just pop that in there. And we'll see if we can make it look a little bit more fancy. Okay. All right, you guys. Grab this. Okay. Oops, here we go. All right, so this might be just a bit, yeah, I think I like that a little better. That's better. We'll just layer those circles together, and then we'll pop up maybe a couple of them up on dimensionals, and that will give us, this came through. There we go. All right, so we'll just layer this on top of our designer series paper there. Oops. And then we'll add our bird here to our piece of black cardstock. And again, because this is a stationery box, you don't want to create too much things that are puffy on top. So I have to decide. And the only reason I say that is because as people take it in and out, but I think we will. So we'll glue this down on the top here. And we'll put that right in the center. And then we'll take our next piece and put it up on some dimensionals. And that way, and then let's take some of this copper. Well, let's see, maybe not copper. Maybe green. Here we go. You know, we're just going to double it up and make a, like a big bow. And what this will do is then it'll stick out the sides, and it'll just give it a little bit of a nicer look. Give us a little more string, I guess. There we go. And we'll put that right in the middle there with a glue dot. And we'll add a few. There we go. And then we'll add our dimensionals here. Oops. All right. And we'll put that right there in the center. Oops, it's a little off. Here we go. There we go. And then let's add some pretty gems here. And I think for this one, we're going to use these sparkle ones. So these are the Earth Tones shimmer gems. These are what actually come with this suite of products. So we're going to go ahead and add, let's see, oh, they're all so pretty. Let's add maybe some of these here. So just add a couple of those just on the edges. So add one more for good measure here. Let's put it right there. There we go. Okay, that looks better than just the black dot or the black circle. You guys will have to tell me. So there it is. There is our nice fancy box that you can open up, and there is your cards. So I will make sure I have those measurements correct. And let me go ahead and get out our other two projects that we finished, so you guys can see those as well. So we have our envelope card, our template sketch card, and then our pretty box. And let me just tie this back up here, and you guys can take a gander. Okay, there you have it. So that is day 7. Those are our projects. So I hope you guys liked them. You have to tell me which one was your favorite, and we will see you again tomorrow with 3 other projects. So, all right, thanks guys. We'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.